Welcome to the LUV-A-LUTION Show. We are a conscious family radio talk show, speaking truth, love, and freedom for all. Know thyself to love thyself. In this show, we'll be discussing topics such as how to free your mind control, higher conscious level, self-love and self-mastery, natural law, conscious parenting, social engineering, and off-gridding, along with much, much more. And now, the sacred feminine and sacred masculine, dynamic twin flame, LUV-A-LUTION-ARY hosts, Amy and John Paul. Enjoy the show. Big LUV-A-LUTION, all you beautiful spirits out there. My name is John Paul, along with my twin flame, Amy.
Hey guys.
Wow, we're excited to be back Tuesdays at 10. Thanks for joining us. Government is slavery, folks. Know thyself to love thyself. Free your mind control. Okay, these are important things to know. All right, that word government means and is mind control in Latin. Look it up. Okay. And when you believe in government, you're under severe mind control. So that's what we talk about, having to freeing our mind control. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're not, if you've heard us before, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We got an hour of truth, love, and freedom for all. We're excited to be back.
Thank you for having us on this wonderful station, Revolution.radio. Yes.
Revolution.radio and freedomslips.com. We love you guys. Thanks for having us on this great platform. And we're excited to be back. We had a show last year, did about 40 shows, and we're back. We love doing the radio, getting the truth out, what we know, the knowledge, right? The care for knowledge to break the condition of slavery. It starts with the mental slavery that we do to ourselves through our beliefs and programming and ego attachment. Right? We're all about knowing thyself, doing that self-actualization, self-reflection.
Yeah, self-mastery, doing things over and over and over again. And facing thyself, being honest with thyself. And it's really important, very important work, you guys.
Yes, they want you believing in their false illusion of authority, right? Watching their movie on the television, pick a side, pick a team, all this nonsense, distract you.
Separate.
And divide you.
From yourself and from humanity, right?
Yes.
We're all in our little boxes, watching the same programming, but separate. We're very separate, and that's an illusion, folks.
Yes, we also want to do a few updates. Today is Angus's birthday, the second year on this planet. Angus, we're celebrating his second year birthday. We're excited. We had him here on the mountain.
Yeah.
Amy did, of course. I helped.
Yeah, 2 years ago, starting at around 6 a.m., I started feeling strong contractions and knew he was arriving. And 6 hours later, around noon, he was born. So it took about 6
Sebastian
hours.
And I, we were the docs on the site, and we took care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Mommy did all the amazing, obviously, of course.
Yeah, I freed my
Work.
mind control that I needed to call the doctors to let them know I was having a baby. I freed my mind control that I didn't have to give birth in front of anybody if I didn't want to, or in a facility like a hospital if I didn't want to. And so it's amazing, you guys, taking your power back. It's not, when you get to the other side, it's not as scary, okay? A lot of people might hate on you for doing what you're doing, but on the other side, it feels so rewarding to do it the way you want to do it.
Yes, we were at home in a comfortable setting. You know, ladies, you can do it, right? They've been having babies for thousands of years before the medical mafia came in, interfered, and it'll be having them thousands of years after. And men, you got to support your women who know their bodies and can trust. Okay, now you don't know best. Okay, the women, we got to support and love our women. Bring them up on pedestals. Okay, they are the creators of life, not us.
And we can really put fear into them. Other people can put fear into us women when it comes to giving birth, because we have a lot of fear wrapped around the whole process. So we really have to be careful when talking to pregnant women. Don't put fear into them, you know? Don't tell them what could happen. I mean, give them some tips, but, you know, don't try to scare them, okay?
Yes.
So,
Great point.
I wanted to let everybody know I chose a wild pregnancy. I don't know if you guys know what a wild pregnancy is, but it's when we don't go to the doctors for any appointments along the way. We don't do any screenings. We don't do any of those appointments. And to tell you the truth, I did one full on with all the appointments and one completely non-appointments. And I really enjoyed not having to go anywhere to pee in a cup, anywhere to be poked and prod. I really enjoyed the wild pregnancy over more traditional, let's go doctors every 4 weeks, then every 2 weeks. That was really stressful for me. I really didn't enjoy doing that. But I didn't know I had a choice to not do that. I thought that's just what you do. But I opened up my mind and I researched and listened to other moms who have done it. And I said, wow, yep, I want to do that. I just knew. So went for it, and so healthy, so strong. He popped out with his eyes still closed. He was like still sleeping. And took a couple spoonfuls of molasses and angelica tincture to help the placenta come out. And that's really it. Just rested after that. Didn't see anyone really for about 5 weeks.
Wow.
And just hibernated. A lot of women feel pressure to see a lot of people right away, but it's really good to be selfish about the time. That time your newborn is just arriving, and you don't have to see a bunch of people if you really don't want to. So do what you feel is right, and not what your conditions have told you to do. That's really important, to become free and more yourself. So the conditions can really take a hold on us. Programs, habits. So that's the Levolution 2, is breaking those programs, habits away from your life. And your life becomes so much easier without feeling the pressure of all the programs. Speaking which, Thanksgiving's coming up, and we said no to it. Not only because we don't eat dead animals, that's not just why. It's deeper than that. It's the genocide that happened here. It's the celebration of killing millions of innocent people here, and they celebrated those things with a big feast. And that's the truth to the matter, and we decided not to celebrate that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
well said, honey. Yeah, the original natives that were here helped the first settlers, get through the harsh winters when they first got here on the coast. And they did have a celebration that was actually joyful. And then years came, and more kept coming and coming and coming. And then they just started killing them and getting them out of the way because they wanted the land, the resources. So the first one was actually the one they taught us, but years and years after that celebration, and they spun the holiday to mean being grateful and whatnot, and covering up the massacre. So, yeah, we don't partake. Plus, we care about turkeys. We love turkeys. They're affectionate animals. They like to be kissed, snuggled, just like you. Okay, and yeah, we don't eat them. We don't. We love birds. We don't eat them. So think about that when that turkey's on your plate, making you feel like crap afterwards. You stuff in your face. All right.
Right, and we wonder why it's so low here, you guys. It's because there's so much suffering, death. We don't need to kill all these beautiful, innocent creatures. There's no need for it.
No. And watching football, they made it a commercial, a television holiday. Football and getting just fat and drunk and stupid. That's no way to wake yourself up. All right.
And people, you have a choice, but yeah, we have a choice as well, and we're not going to do that. So you got to change your actions. You got to reprogram your mind, right? You got to be bigger than your body and reprogram yourself. You want to see something different, well, you're going to have to change. Going to have to change.
Yeah, we're like instruments, musical instrument. You got to balance it, right? You got to put it in tune, get it in tune. Like a guitar or a drum, you got to tighten it up, tune it up. That's like your physical vessel. Keep it tuned up, tightened up, and knowing your diet, knowing you are what you eat. It's huge, all right? I don't want to go into the diet thing right now about the food, but yeah, we have to basically teach ourselves how to say no. We have to reprogram ourselves, rewire our brains. With Dr. Joe Dispenza, check that guy out on Gaia. Rewired, wow. How to change your subconscious programming.
Because people are going to try to pull you back in, right? Oh, that meat smells so good. I just love that bacon smell. Huh? Don't you miss it? No, I'd rather eat my own feces than eat that. You got to tell yourself, no, oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to eat that, right? You got to remind yourself, that is not going in my stomach. Yuck. Because my own family will be like, when they smell stuff and, you know, try to pull you back in.
Yeah.
They want us back in with them because it's easier. And
yeah, remembering who we are, folks. That's about the LUV-A-LUTION. What the LUV-A-LUTION is about. A heart-based society. Going with the heart takes you outside the bounds of space-time, too. Right? Outside the limits of most experiences. And they manipulate the way we perceive reality, right? Perception is frequency, and perception is behavior, how we behave, how we perceive, we will behave. They know this, and most of us do not. They control our perceptions, they control our actions, right? We must follow. We have no choice but to do what they tell us. No. That's identifying with your name, age, race, job, belief. Right? They control the history. Who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. George Orwell. So, truthfully stated. And I had this great quote from last week. Just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. The major media destroys info, and religion destroys spirituality. Michael Elner. Thank you, Michael Elner, for an amazing quote there. It's so true.
That reminds
All
me.
the institutions are lies. They're harming us.
Some quote, I forgot what it said, but it said, you can test how well you're doing by if you're going with the majority, it's time to reconsider what you're up to, right? Because the majority is always going to lead you down that lane to the slaughterhouse, folks.
Yeah.
It's all fucking meant to keep us fucking distracted and lost. Pardon my French. Sorry.
Yeah, I hear you. You're right. Distracted, lost. Right? Pick a team, just watch the game, and go to see your family that you don't want to go see on the holiday, and travel long distance. You got to spend a lot of money and see these people you can't stand. No, take your power back, folks. And doing it with the holidays and saying no to the family members who are stuck in these traditions, rituals, ceremonies.
It's an ecosystem of habits, you guys. So that's why the holidays are really, really touchy for people, because we're going through an ecosystem of habits. The Christmas tree, the lights, the cookies, Santa Claus. There's all these attachments we have in just one holiday. Mm-hmm. So it's very, very, very hard to change what we do on these days. Yeah. Ecosystem of habits. That makes sense, There's a lot of layers.
Yeah. Yeah, saying no to these family programs when you get invited places when you really don't want to go. Most people just do to please others, right? When you say no, you turn your own power on. You flip that word around, because everything's inverted. Everything's backwards, like that beautiful quote says.
You say no to others.
You turn yourself on. You give your power back to yourself.
You flip the switch, flip the script.
And yet, we've been recognized by Mark Passio on the One Great Work Network. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate and love you for all you've done to help wake up Team Humanity. And appreciate you. Love you, brother. And all those other beautiful spirits that have helped along the way. Impart knowledge on humanity. Good on you. And keep doing it. Teaching the trivium process. I don't know if people are familiar with that. Grammar, logic, rhetoric, knowledge, understanding, wisdom. Or in the modern age, we got input, processing, output. Okay? You got the very, very important way to discover truth, to obtain truth, is that trivium process. Taking in knowledge, the grammar, right? They called it back in the classical names for it, with grammar, logic, rhetoric. The esoteric is the knowledge, understanding leads to the wisdom. Also, taking the action is the wisdom, with knowledge. So knowledge is useless unless applied, folks. Knowledge is useless unless applied. We have to apply what we know, share what we know. If you don't share what you know, then it's like not knowing it at all. Very, no, not at all.
I think yeah.
Yeah, with that, the wiseness comes from taking knowledge and taking action with your knowledge into the unknown, into the radical, taking that radical action into the future, right? Being comfortable in the uncomfortable with change. Oh, a quick message from our non-terrestrial friends. They tell us to end the war. We have equal distribution of resources, Stop killing each other and destroying everything, the ecosystem and animals. Oh, again, and the equal distribution of resources, the four fundamentals that the non-terrestrials telling us we have to understand. We got to end the wars, equal distribution of resources, stop killing each other and destroying our habitat and ecosystem. That's it, folks. And they have equal distribution of resources twice because it's so important, because that doesn't happen whatsoever. The scum at the top hoard all the wealth and have us fighting over 2%. Okay, the happy slaves on the bottom. But we don't see ourselves, we know we're enslaved, but we don't see ourselves as ignorant slaves. We got to teach each other. We chose the truth. We've done the research, done the shadow work personally, done so much research and read books. You know, it takes a lot, folks. That's the Lovolution. When you want to decide to go on that conscious journey to raise your vibration, because you're not buying the lies. You're sick of the lies. All right. Like we say, sick of the lies, we got to go within. And you got to do the research, question everything, look into stuff. Yeah, it's dark. Dark, dark, dark. The Saturnists, the Satanists are running the show here. They have been for thousands of years. Now look into it. David Icke, thank you for your amazing work. And all those others. Dan Arnold, our boy, for his amazing work. We love you. Check out him on Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. Coffee Rant with Dan, who's an ex-cop, Marine, and government agent, and woke himself up, and now he's speaking out. Whistleblower. So proud of you, Dan. That takes a lot of courage. And we need more order followers coming out and saying, no, thank you. I'm not helping enslave my own human race. Okay, that's it. We're all one race too, by the way. They made up racism. That's a made up thing to divide us and excuse us, and the phone ringing in the back. And racism, yeah, was made up to divide us. Another dialectic. You are your color, where you came from and all that. No, we're just in different color space suits. Think about that. Different color space suits and having experiences, one conscious, but subjectively in different physical space suits. One consciousness, one love. That's what we share. We have to connect. That's the Lovolution on the macrocosm, connecting everyone who's done their own personal Lovolution, the microcosmic Lovolution, and connecting it to the macrocosmic Lovolution.
Shout out to our sister B, Bianca. Check her out, B Sacred Space on YouTube. We love you.
Yes,
if you're listening.
Big shout outs to all those amazing friends of ours that we met online and through sharing information, the interweb. All right, get all the info out there. It's backfiring on them. They can't control us and then the truth coming out. Right, just like a dam just starting to burst and bursting at the seams, the water shooting out, little holes everywhere. And we got to combat the paid liars, the 24/7 news networks. And because the lies are everywhere. Those paid liars, they look pretty. We believe what they're saying, but they're all false. They they know we're not going to fact check them, so they can steer our perceptions as they wish. Right? That's why the television is so powerful. Right? Let's say no to turn off our televisions, folks. They're like the number one mind control device that have been doing it for over 50 years. All right, and they came out in like 55, I think. The kids were playing outside, enjoying nature, enjoying their neighborhood, and being kids, playing. When those came out, the people got them. It was real trendy. Everyone went to that house to watch this little tiny screen in a huge box, wooden box, to watch that. And everyone thought it was the coolest thing. They never seen anything like it. Technology. They've had this technology for thousands of years, and they just reintroduce it to us. Okay? Because they know we don't remember our past lives. They know we have amnesia coming back when we incarnate every life. We're here to evolve and grow our consciousness, our soul, the self. Think of self, soul is self when we talk. And it's to evolve that soul, that consciousness, quiet the ego. Okay, that's what you're here to do. And don't listen to the ego, letting it run the show. We got to come from that heart-based intelligence, right? Using our head to live with that heart-based intelligence. Using our amazing creative mind, that neocortex, balancing it, though. Most of us have an imbalance, right? That's the mind control we talk of. It's real. All right, they've controlled every action and perception of most of us. Some of us haven't even had an original thought. Everything's been programmed in. And we haven't questioned anything. We just have gone along with everything we've been taught. Go to work, get a job, get a house, have kids, go to college, all this nonsense. Never knowing thyself. No, just do what you're told and go be a good, obedient slave. That's all school teaches, obedience and the acceptance of slavery. And it separates the child from their soul. It's like sucking out their knowledge that's already been inherently imparted in them.
We say, look at that beautiful oak tree out there. You see how big it is? Man, that tree didn't have to go to oak tree school, to learn how to grow into that tree. It's all programming, folks. Program, prison. Mind control, prison. What to believe, what not to believe. How to think, not how to think, folks, sorry. What to think. They're teaching them what to think and to believe in outside authority, aka government. Put your hand on your heart, folks. Repeat after me. Salute the flag. It's like soft. I told John Paul yesterday or the day before. I've come to the conclusion. It's like soft military. School is college. It's all soft military camps.
Yep. Isolate, and then you're in a big cafeteria setting. Isolate and indoctrinate.
You can
the two eyes. Yeah. So, also a little history of about my past. I grew up with 7 boys, strict Catholic upbringing, and I discovered the truth. I don't know, probably my whole life I've been very against what I've been told. Screw you, rebellious, that type of. I don't know, maybe in 2002 I started on that truth journey, after 9/11, leaving the safety of my family, getting out on my own. I discovered my true self and realized I'm here to inform, expose, and inspire others. And then meeting the love of my life, Amy, in 2016. I was in on the right coast in Maine, and had lived in California from about 02 to 2012, and had a lot of experience there with all sorts of crazy things. California is a crazy place. Anyway, but I learned a lot about myself and people, connecting right to my higher self, trying to get connected. They keep us in our phantom selves, like through school puts you in a phantom self or a mutant self that's not really you, but but you'll believe your ego and think it's you. So yeah, no, it's all about connecting to your higher self, folks. We're in the 3D right now, the densest dimension. One of, okay, there's infinite amounts of dimensions. Sorry, we got a fire truck in the background for Angus's birthday, and he's got all sorts of sirens on it, lights, bells and whistles, and it's exciting, that fire truck.
Thank you, Mom and Pa, if you're listening. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mom and Pop. So, right, we're in a free society. We got to go to work, get married, have kids, act normal, walk in the pavement, watch TV, obey the laws, right? Save for old age, and then repeat after me. I'm free. Work, buy, consume, die. Those are David Icke quotes, right? The matrix that's playing us. That's the matrix that is playing us. Like a prisoner in a pitch black cell will never be able to see the walls of our prison. That's a quote from The Matrix. Right, at the speed of light is time. Where it stands still is the speed of light are the walls of the matrix. Wow. So there's a cool quote from the teachings of Don Juan Carlos Castaneda. If one is a stranger to oneself, one is estranged from others too. If one is out of touch with oneself, then one cannot touch others. Wow, that's a cool quote.
I love that.
Powerful quote from Carlos Castaneda. If one is a stranger to oneself, one is estranged from others. So we have to connect with ourselves, what he's saying, in order to connect to others. We have to fill our cup in order to give somebody a sip, right? You can't give what you don't have. We learned that the Christians are taught self-love is the worst thing you could do. That it is that self-indulgence. No. Okay? Spoil yourself. Narcissistic is not self-love, right? That's the stuff they teach, the false self-love in the New Age, right? But it's really doing the work, the inner work, okay? You gotta love yourself. That's how we get out of this mess. And that, if that actually happened, they know it's so powerful. That's why they speak so badly about it. To loving yourself, that is a selfish person. Oh, that is so silly. How to love yourself. That's probably what my mom would say. But anyway, no, that's where we gotta do it. We've been taught to love everything outside of ourselves. See, that's the matrix, folks. Love your car, love your house, love your shoes, love your outfit. And come on, are you kidding me? We got fashion over function. And then we got to get it the other way around. Functional clothes, right? Like in the Brave New World, they would call us savages, okay? We are on the fringe of society, literally and figuratively and physically, because we're right on the edge of America, next to Canada, basically. the far right as you can go. We're the easternmost point in the U.S. in Maine. Anyway, it's all Mother Earth. We don't see the divide, but we understand, yeah, they got it divided up everywhere. Okay? They want you choosing. When you know thyself, you're not choosing sides. You're above all of it. You're above this shit. There's levels to it, folks. The conscious levels. You know, The Walking Dead. Right? I think I've gone over it. You got the zombies, then you got the artist, then you got the alchemist, and then you got the wizard. Those are the 4 levels of consciousness. You don't want to be down in the first one, which most people are, zombies. Yeah. Artist is, creative. They're questioning, they're more balanced than the zombie, of course, and then it goes up in conscious level. The alchemist is one who can manifest and manipulate and is more aware.
Turn those lemons into lemonade.
Yeah, and then that wizard, is manifesting with all the thoughts, emotions, actions in sync, in balance, and is the true captain. Yeah, the captain of their ship. Yeah.
And that's directing your movie, you guys. Not being the victim. Knowing that everything happens from us, not to us. What do you want to manifest? You have the power to create with your mind. So think very highly of yourself. Not poor little me, which we've been believing, but we're rich. We have the original vibration of the universe within ourselves. We're friggin' rich. Let's not think we're small, meek, poor creatures. We're rich, and we need to embody that feeling of feeling powerful, rich, strong.
Yes, absolutely. I say I'm a zillionaire with a Z, right? We got to think big of ourselves. You are the imagination of yourself, as Bill Hicks said. So imagine yourself big. Imagine big things happening for yourself. Everything's working out in your favor. Tell yourself that every day. That's a great one to pick yourself up. Everything's working out in my favor. I'm creating amazingness, what I want, not what I don't want. Taking action when our thoughts, emotions, actions are all in line. And that's having the right and left brain hemispheres in line. A little bit about our brains, folks. The neocortex of the brain has 2 hemispheres, left and right. Right? The left is largely facilitates logic and scientific thought, while the right hemispheres largely facilitate creativity and compassion. When both hemispheres are in balance, the neocortex acts in its proper role as the executive command center of the human brain, and true intelligence is born. That's a Mark Passio writing. Thank you, Mark. So that's what we talk about in the balancing of the left and right. Having the compassion and creativity, and yet the logic and scientific knowledge as well. And that's a hard thing to do because we all suffer from mommy and daddy issues. That's the root cause of almost all of our issues is parental abandonment issues that we haven't dealt with. That's the inner work. That's that 20-foot pile of dung you don't want to start shoveling out of the way, out of your life, because it's too much and too gross and too much work to even start. Mommy and daddy, some people have both. But we all got one or the other. Some have both, okay? Some have complete abandonment issues, and those people I feel for. We can't help how we were treated in our first 7 years. That's over. But we are responsible for healing it. And that's the inner work. That's the starting of the Lovolution, personal evolution. That I'm going to be better than my parents were. Because if we don't change, you become your parents. Well, male or female, whichever you are. So, you don't want to be your dad. Because all the traits will come. Because, they'll come right back. And from our programming, right, the first 7 years. And then our subconscious, it runs 95% of our behaviors are run from those first 7 years, how we were treated. Again, that's Joe Dispenza's work. And Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce, amazing doctor, author. Check him out as well. So, yes, we have to love ourselves, folks. That's why we're doing this, teaching our knowledge to people, because we're looking everywhere for love, but we don't look within. We don't look within. And we can choose to ignore the truth, but we cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring the truth. We could ignore the truth, but consequences will come of ignoring the truth. And you can't ignore those, because they'll hit like a ton of bricks in our lives if we continue to ignore what is. And the truth simply what is, okay? People might say, how do you know the truth? The truth is, and is truth. Okay, what's happened, what is happening, what has happened, and what will continue to happen is the truth. And that is the Satanists running amok around here. Do the research. It's real disgusting and daunting and dark, okay, to know what's going on. But it's all coming out. And Epstein is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. And do the research, all right? Why do you think they're ignoring every time? And they haven't brought any of that out. And they say he's passed. Come on. Please. All right? Because that guy became a household name, and they didn't want that anymore. Because that means they're gonna be exposed. And they don't want that, okay? So that's why we're doing this, to expose, inform, inspire, whistleblow. We love talking about all sorts of stuff. Anything. Non-terrestrial. The skies are loaded with things flying around where we live. Very dark. It's like an IMAX here, because we're on the mountain. No city light anywhere. So beautiful, the stars, and there's so much moving around, as Dan Arnold was talking about in his show. A lot of UAPs, UFOs, satellites, planes, and who knows what else we can't see, of course. So, knowing that your eyes don't see what's out there, but they're more like binoculars of your perceptions, folks. They're binoculars for your perceptions. And you're going to see only what you perceive. Okay? Just like a carpenter and a regular person are going to see a room very differently, or a building very differently, or than an electrician or a painter. They're all going to see the room in 4 different ways when it's the same room, okay? That's because our perception goggles are all different. And we gotta clear those perceptional goggles, folks, and that's getting rid of belief, right? We got to receive information, not believe everything that comes in. Then we perceive it out onto our reality, a movie screen, through our eyes, okay?
So the more you learn and grow, the more you see the things that you wouldn't normally see around you.
Yes.
The more words you know, too, the more you'll see. So keep learning as much as you can. Nothing is negative knowledge, positive knowledge. That's all bullshit.
Yeah, just information.
Mm-hmm. So keep learning, growing.
How our beliefs react. Is that good or bad? We're being taught to think, is that good? Is that bad?
Is he learning that at this date, at this time? Oh, no.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, no, that's good. So we got to stop judging everything like that in duality. That's where they want us, right? Just, not accepting unpleasant information or maybe uncomfortable information that is happening. So
bird of the day, guys. Bird of the day. I wanted to do this guy here. Can't seem to find him. I was doing Sure, we'll do this guy. We're going to do cedar waxwing. Cedar waxwing. And our son Angus, we named him Angus Cedar. So,
his middle name is Cedar, like the tree, or like the bird here.
Time is cedar waxwing.
Yeah, they're beautiful little sweeties. They got a black kind of eye patch along the face, and very connected little bird.
Very generous little bird. They actually feed the bird next to them before they feed themselves. So if there's a whole line of these little birdies, they'll actually pick a berry and pass it down the line until everybody's fed. They're very sharing birds.
Wow, connected.
Their inside of their mouth is an iridescent, like strawberry reddish color. They love to eat berries, and they have little wax tips at the end of their wings and their tail, which add an extra waterproofing. And so they'll take that after cleaning their feathers and give a little extra waterproofing.
Wow.
And they, in the summertime, they're here. Oh, actually, sorry, they're here all year long, I'm reading. Year-round, they live near us. And so here we are. We're going to do the call for you guys.
That's a cedar waxwing, very high pitched.
I don't know if you can hear it.
It's a small bird.
Yeah.
Very small songbird.
Very distinct call. Very chirpy. Anyhow. So that was the bird of the day, you guys. Cedar waxwing.
Yes, and they're an amazing bird. We love the birds. And this time of year is exciting for our birders because we get to feed them and have the feeders up to suit up. It is so cold here where we are. I mean, it's starting to get, it's about freezing right now, but we got a little snow, but anyway, we had a project that we got done. We put on a second roof. I put on a roof over our other roof that was leaking and just doubled it up, and we had condensation inside, folks. That's right. It was raining inside, and we used to have to wipe it on a cold day, cold night. Everything would freeze because the roof had just no layer between inside and outside. The roof was the ceiling, and so you got to layer it up. So we slapped another metal roof over that, and now we took care of that problem, and it feels amazing getting rid of that really embarrassing chore. Basically, it was raining in here in the patio, and we'd have to wipe it every morning. The sun would hit it, melt the frost on here, and it'd drip like crazy, and it would eventually stop, but it would rain inside, and it just so we took the time, got the materials, and banged it out ourselves, of course. We, Daddy and Mommy and Sebastian and everyone helped, get the materials and get it together. So it feels great. No more of that nonsense, and a nice. We have like 2 roofs now, so no leaks and no condensation. So we're psyched here at the home front. Revolution headquarters. Got updating a few things. We got updated our solar system with a new lithium iron phosphate battery instead of the old lead acid deep cycle batteries. We still have a deep cycle, which is it going up and down, charging throughout the day. Then you use the power at night. But same as a boat, you'd have the same battery, 12 volt deep cycle lithium iron phosphate batteries, and a new charge controller connected to the solars. So we got a few upgrades, and the system's working better. We were gonna move and get a house, and we thought, why don't we just put the money we spend on rent into the place we're at, because we're here. We got this place about 4 years ago, bought some land, and brought up a travel trailer with a patio attached, and that is what was leaking. The patio is all metal and aluminum, and so metal is not good to build with, folks. It gets way colder than wood and plastic. So, I don't really recommend building with plastic, anything but PVC, of course. Now they're using it for everything. But yeah, knowing your own skills, we've learned a lot of skills here. Okay, how to do roofing, electric, to the water, to the wood, and the generator. So we're evolving there in our spiritual boot camp, humbling ourselves here. And now, this isn't forever, but for now, we're here, and we're doing it with the children. They're a huge help. Sebastian, now being 8, is such a big help, helping me up on the roof, getting me, screws and new batteries, and helping screw some down even. And so teaching our kids these things, folks, consciously, teaching them skills, how to make a fire, how to grow a carrot, and how to put your own roof on, are very valuable. They don't teach these things in schools, and they never will, because they don't want you surviving. They want you sucking off of their system. They don't want you independent, right? And they just want us working, buying, consuming, and dying, just like the phrase says. All right, we got to eliminate fear. Fear is a liar, folks. Take that power back. Just like He-Man says, I have the power. We got to do that every day when you get up in the morning. You have the power. No one else. Don't acquiesce to your own enslavement. And that's why we're doing this. We love talking to you guys out there that are conscious and aware, because you wouldn't be listening if you weren't, because you wouldn't understand any of this stuff. But the mind control is heavy. We got to work on ourselves every day, that shadow work. Choosing nature over the AI. Choosing the truth over the lies. Choosing the morality over the immorality. Okay? Just because it's popular doesn't make it right, doesn't make it truthful, doesn't make it moral. Okay? Moral. Knowing right from wrong, choosing right. Do we know right from wrong? Do you know what a right is? Do you know what wrong is? Right? Any action that doesn't cause harm to another being is a right. We got many rights and not many wrongs. Right? Harming any action that does cause harm is a wrong to another sentient being, okay? You don't have the right. All right, we got to teach our kids this early. No hitting, kicking, hands to yourself. You don't have the right, okay? We all got a bubble, and you can't go in that bubble unless you ask. Okay, you get permission. Okay, so these simple things, folks. Follow your heart. Don't follow the rules. Don't follow the laws. All right, man's laws are all to control and enslave us. End of All Evil. Check out that book, Jeremy Locke. End of All Evil. Powerful, simple book, Jeremy Locke. Anyway, remember who you are. Open up those chakras. Get out in the sunshine. Get out, get your feet on the earth. And there's the music, folks. We love doing this. One Revolution, know thyself to love thyself, free your mind control, pull thy head out of thy rear end.
Love you all. Peace.
Love you, beautiful spirit. Have a great day.
Ooh.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.
Are you interested in the paranormal, murder mystery, real natural law,